Hello out there in business, trucking, trying to make money world. Again, is D-Lo, the CEO with DNA Cargo, coming at you once again. Just touching base with you. Again, want to give you some good info today. I was advised by one of the leaders in my company that I need to have a little organization in my conversation. So I took some notes, laid some stuff out, and I'm gonna give y'all some information in a little more flow this time, concrete flow, because it's in writing. Again, I didn't say it in the last video, but I'm gonna start remembering because I'm still new at this. Please subscribe, and if you do subscribe, go in the comments and say I subscribed, and I will send you a personal message thanking you and give you some insight on some other ways you could benefit from being involved with DNA Cargo. Hit the notification bell if you're interested in my videos and want to get more information, more videos in the future. You can always put a message in comments. Tell me you need to speak to me specifically. There ain't no charge. Even when I start blowing up making $30,000 a month, there still ain't gonna be no charge. But there may be some other ways that you can benefit that may cost you some money, because of course, as you know, it costs money to make money. So, but what I want to basically tell everybody today is give you some structure on how to get into the trucking business and a little more in-depth information about the trucking and transportation industry. So you may see me glance down a little bit. I'm gonna try to put my notes up here so I don't have to look down too far and be looking crazy. So basically, I want to provide some foundational information and help people understand what's required and how to start a trucking company. First three things I want to discuss is understanding the trucking business and market demand. Everybody understands supply and demand if you had any elementary economics in your life. But that's basically how trucking works, is supply and demand. So I'll get into that in just a second. Want to explain what a trucking company does, the typical services that they offer, you know, OTR, last mile delivery, moving services, package delivery. Those are the different type of niches that are in the trucking industry. Below over-the-road 18-wheeler, because there's over-the-road with box trucks and cargo vans too. But I'm going to be talking about everything except 18-wheelers, because you need a CDL for that, and nothing what I'm talking about do you need a CDL for. So most of my videos here and in the future, I'm trying to limit them to around 10 minutes. Some are maybe a little longer because I'm long-winded. I got that gift of gab, which is why I was so good at sales for so long. So any of y'all in sales, you can also reach out to me, because I did 20 years of sales, sold $30 million in real estate, sold insurance, ADT alarms, worked for 3 multi-million-dollar banks. So I know a little bit about something. So, but back to my trucking monologue. The different types of trucks that we talking about: box truck, sprinter vans, cargo vans, and package delivery in your car, because you can work for Amazon Flex and do courier service and make $200-300 a day delivering in your car. And you can make more than that too, but I'm just being conservative. First of all, how you get loads. There's load boards for the typical trucking company owner operator, or you can have a dispatcher working on getting you loads, but you got to pay them. So you can save that money and dispatch yourself. But it's not bad to pay somebody to get your loads dispatched, because that frees you up more time to do other stuff like run loads, or find a driver to run loads while you sit at the crib chilling. So we're going to get into some of the pros and cons of trucking. I'm not going to touch into that right now. I'm just going to give you some info overview of how the trucking business works. I'll get into the pros and cons on another video, because we're going to be doing this a long time, God willing. So some of the startup costs. Necessary equipment, a truck. If you get a box truck, you want to try to invest in a pallet jack. If you get with Amazon Relay, they're going to mandate that you have a pallet jack and a lift gate attached to your 26-foot box truck. They got smaller box trucks, but Amazon Relay prefers 26-foot. Now, if you ain't going to do Amazon Relay and you're going to do some of these other last mile services, which is basically Home Depot, Lowe's, allowing you to pick up packages of furniture or appliances and take it to people's house, that's the last mile. You can also do moving services with your box truck. So, little stuff like that. And then cargo vans, you basically can move 1 to 2 pallets in a cargo van, maybe 2 full pallets with a higher level of, cargo in a Sprinter van, because most Sprinter vans have high roofs and they're wider. So, but one of the things I mentioned a while ago was startup costs. So the most expensive startup cost in starting a trucking company is the insurance. When I first started my box truck company, $4,000 down, $2,000 a month. There's ways to get around that. I had a good insurance guy, even though he charged me $4,000 up front. I ain't had to pay nothing until the end of the first 30 days. Because he said as long as I pay it by the end of that first 30-day period, everything's cool. But as I mentioned to you in an earlier video, the company didn't last 30 days because I shut it down after a week. It was basically 2 weeks. But that's just a general overview of what kind of funds you need to get commercial vehicle insurance. It's expensive. That's why a lot of people ain't in trucking, because $4,000 is a lot of money to come up for a down payment, and you ain't even got a truck yet. But you got to have a VIN number to get an insurance quote. So you can go online to cars.com or CarMax and pull up the type of vehicle you're thinking about buying or renting or trying to get insurance quote for, and get a vehicle off of there, all the information, VIN number, year, make, model, and give that to the insurance company and tell them you need a quote. And that's the vehicle you're going to be running with, but it may change before you initiate the policy. They ain't going to have no problem with that, because they're going to know you for real. Hopefully you got your company started already, because that's some of the other startup costs. $300 to register your company with the FMCSA. Before you get to that level, you want to pay $300 to the Secretary of State to get your company registered as an entity within the state. Now you can let LegalZoom write up your LLC. Takes about 10 minutes, costs $1, and it includes the $300 fee you got to pay to the Secretary of State, so you're going to end up paying $301. I did mine like that in Texas, even though I originally filed my company in Springfield, Missouri. But real quick, down and dirty, LegalZoom, they'll get you situated where your business is ready in 24 hours. So some of the other startup costs, bank account. You got to get a bank account. So you got to put a deposit in to get the bank account. Some companies don't require deposits, but business accounts, they usually want some kind of money to start the account. There's a couple other things on the startup costs. Renting the van or truck, because I told you don't buy a truck. That's asking for problems in the future, and you taking money out of your future earnings because you're going to have to pay for maintenance if you buy a truck. So, and all the owner operators, if you're watching this and you disagree, you're more than welcome to comment. But in my estimation, from what I've learned about this business in 2 years, renting is better than buying in the trucking industry. So renting a truck, go to Penske, Hertz, Ryder, Budget. They have commercial vehicles you can rent and find out what they are going to charge. But you're going to have to have a company, because they're going to start a business account for you under your company name. So that's why I keep saying, start the company, get your website, get your email with your domain name in it, get your business address, which could be your home address, get a bank account. You want to really do all that before you even get the company registered with the Secretary of State. And then you go to the FMCSA if you're trying to be a legitimate trucking company. You don't need FMCSA if you're going to be just get a box truck and start moving people, or, but it's going to help you become more legit. Business credit. That's something you need in any business, specifically trucking, because trucking is a high risk industry. Everybody will tell you that that's in this business. It's hard to get money as a business loan or business credit line in trucking, because it's a high risk business and don't nobody want to give you money because they think they're going to lose it. But there's plenty of money to be made, and I'll get into that in a few also. Like I said, registering your DOT and MC with the FMCSA, that's going to make you legit. So just jot that down as one of the things that you got to do initially before you start trying to worry about what load's going to come from and where you're going to be driving to and all that. That's way down the line. You got to get established as an entity or a business company before you even start getting into all of that. And I'll get more into that in future videos as well. I'm not going to really touch on that today. Some of the ongoing expenses: fuel, maintenance, as we just stated. If you own a vehicle, your maintenance is going to be high. If you rent a vehicle, the only cost is renting the truck every week, and that's it. And paying for your fuel. That's it. And paying your drivers if you get one, which I will be getting several. So I'm trying to pay them $1,000 to $1,500 a week. $15 a week is generous because each truck that I have on the road under DNA Cargo, I'm trying to bring in about $2,500 to $5,000 a week, minimum. I'm trying to get more, but that's minimum. So if I can get $10,000 a week in one truck, boy, it's gonna be on and popping. But the likelihood is probably more like $5,000 a week, because I'm trying to get about $1,000 a day. So, if you range anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a day every week, you're doing pretty good. So, there's a lot of regulatory requirements in the trucking industry on the 18-wheeler side. On the box truck below side, of course, it's still regulated by the FMCSA, which stands for Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. So they basically govern everything goes on with trucking. So I'll get into that details a little bit later about the regulatory requirements for box truck and below, because it ain't that much. Ain't no logging requirements. You ain't got to be worried about how many hours you drive. You can't drive more than 12 hours, but there ain't no clock to punch in the truck that you got to be doing all that. They want you to have a chronological log showing what your hours are, so they know you're not fatigued driving. So that's one of the regulatory requirements. But it ain't concrete where you got to have a time clock or ELD in your truck and all that kind of stuff. It's good to have it if you got one, but it ain't required. Then some of the day-to-day business operations, once you get rolling, is basically a dispatcher. Somebody that's going to get 2 to 10% on every one of your loads for booking loads for you, because they doing your work. You ain't got to do nothing but just wait for them to tell you where to go and where to pick up and where to deliver and all that. So you'll see it's easy when you got a dispatcher. Now they also have a element called factoring, because when you get loads with a box truck or a trucking company, the shipper is going to tell you, okay, well, we can get you this load, we'll pay you this amount, and it's on a 21-day pay, or 45-day pay, or 60-day pay. That means they ain't going to pay you till 21 days or 45 days. And you're like, whoa, I can't wait no 45 days to get paid. Don't worry about it. Get a factoring company. I got a good one. He only charged 2%. Might be 3%. Can't remember. We only did a couple loads. But they basically get a percentage, a small percentage of your money, because they're going to get you paid in 24 to 48 hours. Mine's got me paid the same day. So that's how good my factoring company is. But then once you get them and get your loads or get them signed up, they'll wait to 21 days and you get paid in 24 hours. Sweet. That's how you want to work this. So, some of the other issues and things that you got to be dealing with, you got to have a driver's license, of course. You don't want no accidents all over your driving history. You pretty much want a clean background and driving history. Because FMCSA going to do all that. They're going to check on you and see who you are, if you got any felonies and convictions and all that kind of stuff. So there's companies out here that can help you with all of that. You can actually drive companies with a CDL with convictions and felonies and all that. But you just got to learn where it's at, and I know all of that. So you can reach out to me if you got a felony and you want to get in the trucking business. I can put you down with who to go talk to. And then, like I said, you may need cargo insurance in a box truck. Well, you will, $100,000 worth. But in a cargo van, I don't think you need cargo insurance, but I will check with your insurance rep to be more specific on that, because you ain't gonna be carrying that much stuff in a cargo van where you need a $100,000 policy. So, but I'm gonna go through this. I'm trying to get through it pretty fast because I know I'm long-winded and I won't just go too much more past 10 minutes, even though we're already at, where we at? We're at 18 minutes. So I'm gonna wrap this up, and this is gonna be phase 1 of the foundational elements of trucking. So this is like the first part, because I'm gonna get back with you probably tomorrow about some other information and provide you some additional information on this subject. Also, I know I said I wasn't gonna say but I did. Some of the scheduling you don't have to worry about, because that's gonna be done with your what's that lady called? The dispatcher. It ain't necessarily a lady though, so it could be a man, it don't matter. So, but that's pretty much all I want to cover today. Just to give you some foundational elements of what you need to start a trucking company. And then you can expand from there. And tomorrow I'll go into a little more information and break down the pros and cons, like I told you I was going to mention, but I didn't want to do that today because that's 10 minutes by itself. So, but I appreciate everyone. Again, click on that subscribe to the channel. It's going to help. I can provide you more information and eventually start giving people bonuses for being long-time subscribers. Hit the notification bell. That way it'll tell you when I'm putting up a new video. Because I'm going to do this every day for a hot minute, but it ain't going to be every day forever. So, also, I want to be able to talk to people who need some help. So reach out to me in the comments and just, let me know you have a question or two. Or you thinking about you want to come work for me. Just drive under my company. Be 6 months down the line because I'm going to start recruiting Amazon relay drivers once I get rolling. And like I said, I'm trying to get this all done within the next 30 days, but my deadline date is February because that's when my son's going to get my car, and I need to have my trucking company rolling because I might get a cargo van and just drive that around every day and don't get a car. But my goal is to get out of my Mercedes and give it to my son and get me a 4Runner. But because my Mercedes is in the shop, we might be getting a different vehicle because I'm starting putting money in that car and I don't want to do it because I've had it 5 years. So, but anyway, I ain't gonna beat y'all to death across the head with a whole bunch of nonsense. But it was good talking to y'all today. I hope everybody's well. Love you. Appreciate you checking in and hollering at me. And please, again, subscribe. And there's something else I missed and I forgot. But like I said, I'm still new at this. So, but y'all take care. And again, this is D-Lo, the CEO with DNA Cargo. Peace out.